Right.
Sounds like you had a really interesting,
Yeah.
like rise to get where you are now.
I was like, wait, which part though? Because there's...
So I have a lot of specific points.
Okay, yeah. I was
Like one of the ones that stood out to me is when you're like, because the video is like 4 minutes long and you kind of like pass over shit real quick. So on one hand, you're like, my mom's ex-boyfriend, we found him in the garage with a gas mask on, filling the house with carbon monoxide.
Right.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
So if I understand that correctly,
Yes.
your mom's boyfriend was trying to murder you both?
I think it was mainly for her.
You were just
There are situations where even now I get kind of freaked out talking about and sharing that part of my life just because I don't know what that guy is doing now. So, because I mentioned this on Rhett and Link's podcast really like a while ago. And when I talked to him, he said, aren't you worried that guy is going to...
fucking
And
guy,
I was like...
he's putting nightmares in your head.
and
Shit.
and it wasn't really in my head because I feel like I haven't been genuinely fearful for my life I'm 31 now, so for like 14 years. Because my childhood was 100% different than my everyday. I'm very to my small group of people now. I'm nervous around big crowds of people or even strangers to a certain degree. But yes, that was a very scary situation. At the time, I didn't understand how big of a deal it was. I just remember my mom going like...
How old were you?
So if this was... My mom was about to be diagnosed with cancer, so I believe I was in middle school. So what is that, 13, 14?
Just a bag of fun for you.
Just bag of fun. But no, so we didn't know we had a carbon monoxide detector before that. And because it was behind her big mirror dresser, and it went off in the middle of the night. And I just remember her like screaming, and then we left the house that night. And that's just, it's such a weird...
That is honestly one of the craziest things I've ever heard.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just like, I'm trying. It's a lot of my childhood I just like put in the back of my mind. Like even my name change to Philip DeFranco, like I very much, that me changing my name to Philip DeFranco is very much me kind of reclaiming myself as a human being. Like I'm not going to live in fear. I'm my own guy. I'm never going to go back to who I was and what I experienced. And so, yeah, that's, wow, I had forgotten about that, man.
Sorry, dude.
No,
this is like therapy.
I would have weird-ass nightmares tonight. No, but yeah.
We get our guests out here on the couch. You want to lay down and put your feet up? We can get really into it.
Purple couches really should only exist for sex, by the way. Purple is way too sexy of a color.
So what happened to him? Was he arrested?
Yes.
He went to prison.
Yeah. I was like, I feel like he
For attempted murder?
No. So this is, I'm like, how specific do I get without? It's a very weird place. So I know he was arrested for drugs, right? Because that was the big thing.
Who's the drug dealer? Because
I forget if it was in that video or in another one. He was in the garage. I remember hearing this whole situation that spirals out of control. I'm a kid. I hear him in the garage, and I'm like, what's that sound? It sounds like, is he hiding a present for me in the ceiling? And he leaves, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get my present. And I push the panels very much like this, but they're the square ones. I push them aside, and there's this giant mustard jar. And I'm like, what the fuck?
It's a weird present.
Yeah, weird present. And I'm like, well, maybe it's hidden in the mustard jar. Maybe it's that awesome of a present. And I bring it down, I unscrew it, and it is a giant bag of pills. Wow. And it turns out later it was speed.
Oh, that's a great one.
That's
my drug of choice.
And I think then I told my mom about it. I think then he found out that she knew about it, and I think that's why the carbon monoxide stuff happened.
Wow.
But it's also this weird conflicting thing because that guy also paid for my mom. It's so...
I saw that in the Draw of My Life. You were saying he took care of you guys. He was a nice guy.
And so that's why, because I had a stepdad that beat the fuck out of me, and then here's this guy. And there's the carbon monoxide situation that completely derails the story, but he had been nothing but nice and sweet to me. And
Jesus.
He was becoming like my second dad.
Right. How long was he living with you? Or how long had you known him for?
Yeah, so I think she moved in with him was the place, but I feel like that relationship had to be like 3 years.
Whoa. Wow. And he, all of a sudden, your mom found out he was dealing drugs, and he decided, I'm just going to kill them both. That's the solution.
I don't want to say that specifically it, but that is the way that I remember the situation. Because when I say my mom ended up having cancer, I ended up living with my dad for a little while she got treatment, and then she was also dealing like with that stressful situation. So I think she sent me away partly because of the cancer, but also because she didn't know what was going to happen. But wow,
that must have. I mean, I can only imagine as a kid, you have this guy in your life who you like, and he's taking care of you, and then all of a sudden he's trying to fucking kill you and your mom. I mean, that's got to be like.
I think.
I mean, do you feel like that's affected relationships you have, where you're like, I like you, but also, are you going to kill me someday?
I think in general, I've never really trusted people that much, right? The people I trust in my life, I have my wife and I have one good friend. Well, actually, I'd say two good friends that I trust to have my back in every situation, and I would be there for them. But outside of that, not really. There's no incentive for most human beings to back up one another when it really like gets into that moment, like the are you going to run back into a building to try and save someone kind of situation, or even to a more relatable degree, is someone going to try and fuck someone over so they can personally advance. But that was already ingrained in me. My dad from the get-go was like, don't trust people. Granted, top tier was like, don't trust women. They're going to try and make you have a baby with them, and they're going to try and take half. He was mainly like kind of spurned by my mom. But that's most of life, though. People, I think, make it very hard for you to trust them, whether they are trying to kill you as a child or they trying to use you for advancement and entertainment or business.
That's tough, man.
I'm just so everyone knows, like I am a cynic, right?
Yeah,
that is like
that's fair. I mean, I think you're entitled to that at this point.
Thank you.
I think you're entitled to your cynicism.